Happy Saturday, my friends. Clean air is good times like this. Dirty air, a tad bit better. Rodney Rodriguez, host of Dirty Air with Rodney Rodriguez. It's got my name on it. That's why I host it. Welcoming you back. Been about a half a month or so since we've had a Dirty Air episode short, whatever you want to call it. But this is a Saturday afternoon check-in. First and foremost, for me, to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is coming up next week. We're going to get in there. We're going to carve the bird. Christmas decorations are already starting to make themselves viewable, depending where you go, whether it's retail spots or whatever. You're hearing Christmas music. I can tell you here in Texas. I'm based out of just north of Austin. You all know that. This is the Audio Visual Consultations Studio. My man Tom McKay, 512-255-8678. I'm outfitted with so many televisions in this studio. As a matter of fact, last night on Friday night, I had quite the assortment. I had a little bit of had Flow Racing on. Our friends over at Flow Racing was watching Keelan Harvick racing late models, watching trucks, watching legends over at Florence. Just a great night of action right there. This one, I'm all backwards over here. I had a little bit of college football going on. And then somehow in the screen right behind me, under the Dirty Air sign or over the Dirty Air sign, somehow I turned that on and I Want My 80s was on MTV. So, that didn't get turned off because I'm a dude that grew up maybe in the 80s. So caught some music videos, The System, Don't Disturb This Groove, had a little Rick Astley going on, cranking it up happening. Tom McKay can do that for you too. And, of course, my friends at On Demand Shirts. They are the official apparel provider of Dirty Air with Rodney Rodriguez and the Revved Up Show. They're in San Antonio. These are Texas-based sponsors because I'm in Texas. And On Demand Shirts, they will hook you up. I don't have my On Demand gear on today because this really isn't a full show. This is a Saturday check-in. This is an itinerary is what this is going to be of what's coming up in December, as I'll be hitting the road for some different stuff for work, but hitting the road, going to racing events enables me to be able to cover racing events for all of you. So I'm going to tell you what I'll be doing that. And with that, I will be going on the road because I am now an employee of O'Reilly Auto Parts. And with that being, there's a natural connection right there that O'Reilly Auto Parts. So, we're going to showcase them here on Dirty Air. Have you seen the newest collection of O'Reilly Auto Parts jingles? Take a look.
Never knew you needed O'Reilly Jingle Sessions, featuring vintage hits.
You want it, we got it. O'Reilly, O'Reilly.
Holiday magic. Modern twists. And much more. Enter to win this limited edition O'Reilly Jingle Sessions vinyl, plus up to $5,000. Exclusive merch and an O'Reilly gift card. Submit your best version of Jingle Remix, choreographed dance, and musical cover. Enter now to win your O'Reilly Sessions vinyl, up to $5,000 cash, exclusive O'Reilly merch, and gift card. Upload your video at O'ReillyJingleContest.com.
Pretty good stuff right there. That contest has actually passed, but I just like the retro stuff, man. I like the retro stuff. Welcome aboard, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Super glad to be on your team. Wanted to, what I mentioned there about giving you an idea of what I'm looking forward to doing in December is that, to the end of November, honestly, because today, as a matter of fact, with college football, with everything that's going to be going on, you've got the event at Florence tonight. Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to be a part of that late model stock races. He'll be in the number 8 Budweiser Camaro. So really looking forward to that, and I'll get you some intel and coverage of that post-race. Probably in the next week on a weekly edition, because Dirty Air will be returning weekly. So that's really the main thing that I wanted to let you guys know. Excuse me. I know that there's been some gaps in there just with different things, but that will be back full time once again, as the time has been allotted to be able to do that. So Dirty Air back, probably live and in taped versions, just different ways of it. There's no reason to have to do it one way. I know it's been where I've seen this show has consistently been X amount of guests, X amount of time, but it really is all about, from the folks that I've been talking about, kind of as I've been wanting to go in and revamp this program, is just consistent content, and that's what I'll be giving you. So I'll be recapping that for you because that is tonight, and I think that's just going to be a tremendous race. I love the late model stocks. I've talked about it so many times. I have this infatuation with the Cars Tour, and a lot of it is, I've said it so many different times, that the Cars Tour to me is what I grew up watching. When Bob Harmon and All Pro rolled into town, it had that same feel back then, where you would have All Pro would come into town, and now where it's you get mainstream, stars out of the Cup Series, out of different levels, out of some of the super late model tours that come in and run that. Back in my time, excuse me, I had this throat thing going on here for a couple of weeks. So as I clear my throat there, I apologize. It was, back in my time, you had the Allison brothers, that would roll in with All Pro. Darrell Waltrip, different, all of these stars. Rusty Wallace would make the jump over and come over. One of the first All Pro races I saw in San Antonio was won by one of the greats that I've gotten to interview on the Texas show, on the Revved Up show. Donnie Allison winning at San Antonio Speedway, one of the first times. Gary Hotshoe Ballou, Mike Harmon. It was just, the list went on and on and on. And we had our guys, we had our Texas guys, whether it be Slick Yeomans. I claim Freddie Fryer as my own, but as an All Pro champion that he was an All Pro guy. But you had those guys, you had the Hubert Beans, you had all of these guys in Texas that would be a part of that. And that's what the Cars Tour is to me right now, because I think a lot of that feel has been lost in the super late models and the pro late models with just, they've gotten so big, and they demand their own, they've got their own stars right there. But you look at with the Cars Tour, with what they've been able to do, and just what a staff there that they've put together. And I think that's one of the things that I always talk about when it comes to, for example, Texas Longhorn football that I do discuss quite frequently on Texas Sports Unfiltered. To me, one of the growth that you're seeing with the Texas Longhorn football program, and why they're in a position to possibly win a college football championship, is they've got offensive coordinators, they've got defensive coordinators, they've got strength coaches, they've got all of these people that have been in place under Steve Sarkisian, and that's where Texas has put themselves in that spot. In the past, there was a lot of turnover to where you didn't have any consistency whatsoever, and that really seems to be what the Cars Tour has. You go and you look. From Mr. Bob, Keeley, everybody that's involved right there, there's a great core of a team right there that works. And even with, because I think a lot of, whether you want to call it naysayers or keyboard warriors, because we do acknowledge some of the keyboard warriors if they have, a half-ass something that makes sense. But there's a lot of keyboard warriors. We know that. That's just sport. To where it was with the change in ownership, when you had Dale and you had Harvick and you had Justin that were going to come in here, that was going to radically change everything, and it was going to be the end of the series. Well, I think it seems like it's only grown, in my opinion. So, and it's going in the right direction. And that's not to say that one of the other events that I will be covering extensively for you guys, probably towards the end of the week, definitely towards the end of the week, because there's going to be a preview show where you've got the Bigley 128 that's coming up, and I think that's another series right there, the UARA with my friend Ricky Brooks, that where he's gone in and has his series. And I think where UARA is so strong, because you've probably seen on Racing America some of the ads for that. It's going to be a core of super late model drivers that are going to be coming in with some of those drivers that are off right now, that are able to come run these races. The other part of that, to me, the UARA, what makes that so fascinating with what Ricky and his staff has done there, where again, do you see the correlation right here? When I'm talking about the Cars Tour, the team that they have built, the presentation that they put together, Ricky and them with UARA, it's the same thing. You look at the team that he has put together, they're very consistent in everything that they do. And they're I'm not going to say support series, but they're other series that's usually a part of their program, the Sportsman Series. The UARA, they've gone in there. That's conversations that we have had so many different times on these programs about with the Outlaws, which are the, outlaw late models is what you call them, the long nose and the tall ass cars that I talk about, where you had that concept, and it's really gotten to where it's kind of outgrown its infancy, and it's getting pretty costly, and it's getting, you name it. Well, the UARA has done a really good job of going in there and honing in on those rules and drawing that back to where some of the shock stuff, some of the suspension stuff, all of these different things that were really lighting that division and continuing to lit that division blow itself out. In the UARA Sportsman Series, they've gone in and trimmed that. And they have an amazing car count. And at the Big League 128, you're probably going to see 25 to 30 of those. And that's not the top division. The top division is going to have more than that. But that's where the consistency there of what they've been able to do. UARA Sportsman to me and the Cars Tour late model stocks, man, that's old school mindset. That's old school working of rules. All of that is what those two classes, divisions, what they present for asphalt racing, and asphalt racing needs that. Asphalt racing needs that. So if you haven't, and again, not to sell the Big League 128 Memorial short that's over at Freedom Factory in Florida, not to sell the super late model part short, but I think what I'm telling you is, and that's going to be on Racing America. So if you have the opportunity to watch the Sportsman race, I'm just going to tell you, watch the Sportsman race, because it will be just as good as what you expect to see with the 128 with the super late model. So you got those two events, and then of course you got the big one. You got the granddaddy of them all. It'll be the Snowball Derby that's coming up the first weekend of December, and of course that's at Five Flags Speedway. All of that already happening. You've got testing happening today, Saturday. What are we? Saturday, 23 November. You had cars on the track yesterday. I had friends from Texas that were down there on the racetrack yesterday, getting ready, getting dialed in for that. You got a big Crown Stock event, and of course the Derby is what it is. And the Derby, with everything that it continues to just give. I mean, the Derby, it's, a lot of people, you only see them one time a year at the Snowball Derby. And I'm not just talking about in the super late models. I'm talking about all the other divisions, because remember, all of the Five Flags divisions are a part of this. Crown Stocks, there are going to be so many Crown Stocks that are going to be a part of this, for crying out loud, that it's here at the Texas asphalt track here. I'm like, man, how do we do this? I mean, how do we do this? But, when a lot of times when an idea is born and an idea is put to the test, and an idea is, I don't want to say perfected, because perfection it doesn't really exist a lot in this sport. But when something is executed correctly, a lot of times it has happened at Five Flags Speedway with the Bryant family. And again, everyone, a great part of that staff there, of that core staff that continues to do just amazing things. The other part of that this year that's going to be a little bit of a change with the Snowball Derby. For one thing, the purse, the $50,000 to win. So that is a change, definitely a change in the right direction. I don't think any of these changes that I'm talking about are none of them are bad. Of course, you will have now on Flow Racing. FlowRacing.com. You will have the Snowball Derby, full coverage of it last night. I took one for the team last night, and when I had all these TVs going, I had PC fired up with one of the monitors here, and I checked out the Miss Snowball competition, because I always want to know who's going to be in charge of that, who's going to be presenting those trophies, not only through Snowball Weekend out there, but in 2025 over at Five Flags Speedway. There's going to be a lot of that coming on. Also, want to part of my job, I will actually be on site with my man D-Mac, O'Reilly Auto Parts. We will be at the Gateway Nationals in St. Louis. So of course I will be working that event for the company, but there will be opportunities where I can get you some social media out there. Just truly one of the coolest. It's on my bucket list of events that I wanted to go to, and I've been afforded the opportunity here to be able to get to Durton, December, heading to the Gateway Nationals, and that will be the week after. No, that actually is the week of the Derby. So that's going to be the weird thing for me this year, is not being in Pensacola, but I will be in Pensacola from afar and continuing to monitor everything and getting you dirty air information. So that's just kind of an idea of what's coming up here the next few weeks with these big race events that we're going to be finding on the pavement. Again, throwing in the dirt action there. You've got the Chili Bowl that's going to be coming up in January. It'll be big time full coverage of that as well. Here in Texas, there is a big event happening at the South Texas Race Ranch tonight. That's over in Corpus Christi, one of my favorite places that I've been in the past. Truly great event right there, the South Texas Shootout. Topless limited modifieds. You'll have some pure stocks, Dwarf Car Racing Series of Texas, late models, dirt late models, which I'd love to see those take off in Texas, but that's a whole different discussion. But that's going on as well. So lots is going to be coming about here as we get towards the end of the racing season, vaulting us into 2025, and Dirty Air will be a huge part of that. And I look forward to bringing you great coverage of all of that and more on our weekly stuff. All right, guys, if you get a chance, once again, subscribe to the page right up there as you're looking at it, whether you're on YouTube, you're on the Racing America YouTube page, wherever you're checking this out from. Up at the very top left-hand corner, you can click there. It takes you right to my website where you can get additional bonus content and so forth. That's always available right there for you. And again, if you'd like to reach out to the show, this will come directly to me, dirtyairracingshow@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you guys on what we can do to continue to deliver amazing content. All right, friends, hope you enjoy the rest of your college football Saturday. Hope you enjoy Florence tonight. If you're in Texas, hope you enjoy the race in Corpus. Lots going on. Of course, you got your NFL Sunday. Friends, my name is Rodney Rodriguez. I'm deep in the heart of Texas, and I look forward to continuing Dirty Air with Rodney Rodriguez. Remember, friends, clean air is good. It's really good. It's really good. But times like this, Dirty Air is just a tad bit better. You all be well. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Spend that time with family and friends. Carve that bird and get yourself ready for amazing racing and your Christmas holiday. All right, friends. Till next time, Dirty Air. We'll see you then.